We're on.
Oh, yeah.
We on the air.
We got Cody with us.
We up.
Skeet.
For the third time ever?
Second? Yeah. I haven't been in a video one, so look at my beautiful face.
Remember it.
It's not beautiful.
Don't forget it.
What do you do, Cody?
I work at Spear and Nissan. I do oil. Well, I write up your oil change. I'm pretty much the middleman between you and the mechanic. So.
Do you enjoy working there?
It has its moments.
Say yes on camera.
Yes.
There you go.
Superior Nissan.
Do you like your bosses?
Faster, simpler, more transparent. Yeah, he's cool. It's the people above us that are a little bit different. I don't know if I should talk about
Did you
this.
hear that, Superior? There you go. Fire this man.
You're that Nissan corporate. His name is Cody Wheeler.
Wheeler.
Address is
Dealer number 2963.
That's actually your dealer.
Yeah, dealer number.
I remember my Office Depot number is 8840093.
My lunch number was 14408.
Mine was 020503.
So, okay.
Oh, he didn't have a lunch number.
No, but,
Homeschool.
okay, we're trying to figure this out. I've got a PIN number that I use for everything. Like
Yeah, what is it?
Like my phone.
I do too.
Okay. And I know I got it from, like, my mom, because that was her PIN number on, like, her debit cards and stuff. Whenever she would give me the card, she'd give me that number, and I remember it whenever I went into the grocery store.
Definitely in the same boat.
Okay. That's my PIN number to this day. Whenever anything needs a PIN number, that's it. All, like, my phone, all of my debit cards, it's that PIN number. I asked her where it came from, like, why that number, and no one knows. It's just there's not a phone number we had. It's not an address we had. It's not
just a magic number.
Just a magic number.
Yeah, ours is like, if you wanted to think about it as like a year, it's a big historical reference, but it's like a couple years off.
Okay.
So that's how I always. So
it's not a big historical reference.
If it was like
1779.
If you just like remember 1776, but then like subtract 5 years, that's how I always remembered it.
1771.
That's definitely at least 30% of conservatives. Their PIN number is 1776.
Yeah, that's not what it is. It's more obscure than that. But I always remembered it because I made a rhyme in my head, and then I was just like, I know that's not it. So it's, and then that's how I always remembered it.
Oh, there is one password that I remember. That it was one time when I got logged out of my Yahoo email address, and I asked for a it generated a random password that I go and change later, and I just never changed it.
Oh yeah,
it's Fret 439 Jag 007.
Well, that's his Yahoo email, everybody.
I haven't used it in like 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, it just auto-generates one, and you end up using that forever.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's like so random that it's easy to remember. So
yeah,
once you end up remembering it, it's kind of stuck in your head. But no one's gonna guess that. Like what? It means nothing. It just randomly generated.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were talking about this the other night. You said PIN number. That's like saying ATM machine.
Yeah. What was that called?
Moron.
No. There's an actual syndrome for this.
Sorry.
Yeah, like ATM machine. It's redundant, but there's an actual syndrome for it apparently.
I have a disease.
Yeah, I don't know if it's.
This is not the only one.
Oh, this is what Wikipedia said. It's called RAS syndrome, which is the in and of itself.
Cut that out,
Reductant acronym syndrome.
That's funny. That's a joke.
Yeah, reductant acronym syndrome.
That's on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, yeah.
It's called
PIN number.
Syndrome?
Yes, RAS syndrome.
Well, RAS syndrome would be that syndrome because it's redundant acronym syndrome. All right.
I believe you. I just hate this planet.
I do. People have to identify everything, right?
I hate science, man.
Anyways. So. Did y'all see that Trump speech?
No.
Where
he can still do that?
Yeah, he gave a speech. What's it called? The CPAC? Conservative People of America? Something?
That's what you wear when you snore when you sleep.
Yeah, when you can't breathe, when you die 27
CPAP.
times an hour.
It's a CPAP.
Oh, I was like, say psych right now.
I forget what. I forget what.
75% of his audience actually use them.
I know
Don't
a
you
lot
have
of people
one?
that have one.
I don't have one
You
yet.
will.
Yeah, you will. Give him another couple years. Well, he talked about how it's so weird.
Oh no,
We
he said he was gonna beat him for the third time.
Yeah, implying that he beat him last time. It's also
how that works.
Yeah.
it's super weird to me, like the way like you have like Trump who talks in just the most weird way, almost really repetitive, and now we have Biden who can't say anything.
Well,
We're
did you
really
see
getting opposites.
It's almost like we keep voting in old as heck people.
Yeah, where are the young people?
I want a 35-year-old. Whoever it is, I will vote for a 35-year-old to get into
Somebody who
office.
sure-
can navigate their iPhone. I'd
Yeah.
settle for that.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure
Someone who can
JFK.
unlock their iPhone.
I'm pretty sure JFK was the youngest. He was like 43. Like that
Yeah.
dude can't relate to the new voters and the 18-year-olds. I mean, they did.
Biden can't relate
Really
to
to
himself.
anyone.
Yeah,
He can't
He's
know
definitely-
what he's doing.
yeah, he's a puppet.
I don't
but-
think he's going to run a second time. So there's no
He-
way.
there's no way
Trump's
he'd be
gonna win
able
a third
to.
time.
Well, he doesn't even know where he is, so
You guys watch that video I sent you that I made?
That you
Yes.
made? Yes.
I'll super cut it in.
Yes. It was great.
Okay, now.
There was a video comparing Trump. Like, so apparently during Trump's presidency, they killed another terrorist that no one really knows the name of. But then when Obama was president, they killed Osama bin Laden. And they compared the two speeches when they were talking about it. And,
Yeah.
and
I
Obama was
saw
like,
that.
we had an operation and we went in and we killed Osama bin Laden. And Trump goes up there, he's like, we busted through the door. And like normally you'd like knock on the door, like knock, knock, who's there? But then on this one, they just went in and they were shooting. A lot of people dead, a lot of blood. In a professional speech
Yeah, and he's
to
like-
America.
He's
A lot
like,
of
and he
people dead.
screamed and cried, and we listened to him scream when the,
when
the
we
dogs
killed
bit him.
Yeah, we killed him like a dog, like a good dog, you
Yeah.
know, a good respectful dog. Like
I
it just
saw
starts-
that, but then all I could think
It was
of,
really hard to watch.
all I could think of was like, did they forget about "Ladies and Gentlemen, We Got Him"? Did they forget about that? Because I mean, like that's the shortest and sweetest one yet.
Yeah, why not just keep using
like-
it?
Arguably the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
well, I don't know. I feel like Trump there, it's almost like, and this is definitely me, but have you ever had somebody who, you're in a group of people and somebody's like, so-and-so, will you pray for us? And they're like, oh gosh. And it just kind of like the prayer starts, but
And they're
the
the
end
ones
is in a
that call them
completely
Daddy God.
different area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely me, and that's what that's like. It's like
Yeah.
he started over here, and somehow he ended up over there.
He goes, I don't know how we got here, but it was a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you start talking and you're remembering the story, and then you're like, I don't remember where this is going.
But
You tell too much backstory and you forget what the story was.
yeah, you forget
Yeah.
the whole
But-
point.
But you started this story, and it's like on live TV for millions of people. You can't just stop.
You're the president.
You have to keep going.
Here's the problem, though.
The show goes on.
They have this really cool invention called a teleprompter.
Yeah.
Read it.
Yeah.
Just read it.
I learned how to use one of those this last weekend. It was kind of
Yeah, they're a pain.
Mine was an app on an iPad connected
Yep.
to my MacBook.
Yeah.
And you
was
put it on a
pretty-
thing and it
a
reflects
mirror
it.
And it reflects it.
Oh, that's
yeah.
whack.
Yeah, we ran one for the award show we were on.
That was what they used at the awards show? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. It wasn't
fancy.
like, I mean, we were in a photography studio. There were maybe 40 people there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge thing.
I was like, that's what I have in
Yeah.
our studio,
Yeah.
and we're 2 people.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, there were 3-4 camera ops and 7 cameras to
Wow.
operate.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
I've also
insane.
done that before.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
Delicious.
I filmed a worship set one time. It was like a pretty big production. And I was there. I was prepared to be there by myself and film the whole thing by myself, but their guy showed up too. And he set up some stagnant cameras, but I was just kind of like, listen, we're going to have to film this 6 times. Just so you know. Because I had a steady cam. I was like, if I want to get everything, you're going to just be ready to sing this set 6 times.
Yep.
And they did. It was great. It turned out great. But that's, that's
A
how
whole
it goes.
set 6 times.
Yeah, 3 songs.
Cool.
Oh, 3 songs like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
That adds up pretty fast.
Yeah.
But
We did. I went to help a band shoot a music video yesterday, and it was a performance part, and it was just solo shots. So like, first guitarist, second guitarist, and then
Yep.
bassist, and then drummer, lead singer, and they went. Each person went through the song
3 or 4 times.
Wow, really? Even the
Yeah.
instruments?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Instruments were maybe 2 times, 3 times, because so. I got it. I can show you later. Well, he's gonna be here tonight too, but it's spinning. The camera's spinning around the performer, and so I was sitting in a desk chair with a Steadicam, and somebody was pushing me in a circle in a warehouse. It was a lot more work than I was expecting it to be, just sitting there.
It's amazing how much camera equipment that like Hollywood uses that a Steadicam completely erases. Like if you can hold the Steadicam and you have another guy to help you navigate, you don't need a crane, you don't need a dolly, you don't need a track, like you don't need any of that.
Our dolly for Reignite was the trunk of a car. We sat in the trunk of the car and we ran
happens a
towards
lot.
the car as
Whatever
they drove.
works.
Yeah, it was great.
And it stays steady. That's the point, right?
Yeah, and you save 6 hours.
Oh yeah, and millions of dollars in some situations.
Yep.
I don't know anything about cameras.
So
For a second, I was like, yo, like, we're in this.
What the hell does she know about cameras?
I like some of the Gaga songs.
Classic Kanye, dude.
dude, he's crazy.
I love that man.
So crazy.
Hey, he got, what, like 1% of votes or something? Or was
Probably.
Or
Pretty sure he got like 16,000 votes in Arkansas alone, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you put 16,000 people in a room, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
it's like, I feel like you think, 16,000 from one state, from a state like Arkansas. I feel like that's probably pretty
I
impressive.
mean, there's 3 million people in Arkansas. Like that's
like
There's more than that.
no, there's only 3 million. Yeah.
I thought there were that many in Little Rock.
No.
No.
Here, let's put it in perspective for you. So think of Arkansas. That's 3 million people. New York City alone has 9 million people in it.
That's cool. We're bigger than New York City. Smaller than New York City.
Well, population-wise.
We're bigger than New York City.
We're bigger than New
but
York
in
City. But
population,
population-wise, they are absolutely jam-packed.
Everybody in the world can fit in New Jersey.
For real?
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Like shoulder to shoulder.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like social distancing.
I've read that so many times. So many times.
Someone's gonna do the math. Not
Hey,
me.
somebody do the math.
No.
Everybody in the world will fit in a small state, that's for sure. We just gotta find which small state it is.
Is it
But
shoulder to shoulder, not stacked on top of each other?
If it's stacked on top of each other, you can fit everybody in the world in Rhode Island.
Oh, well,
All on top
okay.
of each other, straight
All
up
right.
into the sky.
Damn it.
COVID's worst nightmare.
You have a point. We can make it. We can make it to the moon.
Just stacking people on top of each other.
Let's do the math there. How many people is it from here to the moon?
The average height's what, 5'8"?
I don't know. I know.
That's
I know
as
if
far as I go.
you're a girl, I read this the other day. If you're a girl and you're 6 feet tall, you're in like the 98th percentile.
Dang. I mean,
Like 98% of girls are shorter than 6 foot. I had no idea it was like that large of a difference. That's like the 56th percentile for men. Like half of guys are taller than that.
Yeah. Whack.
What? Whack.
His hair, whack. The way that he never smiles, whack.
Did you guys know? I learned this the other day. We almost had a nuclear incident in Arkansas in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That terrifies me because like I try not to be a paranoid person, but thoughts go around.
Mm-hmm.
My wife went to Arkansas Tech, which is where that nuclear reactor is, like less than 20 miles, like within the radius. So if that were to have any issues, that town would be wiped. Clarksville, Ozark, it would have effects
poisoned.
here. It's an hour and a half away from here. It would have effects up here.
Yeah.
And like Chernobyl was 40 years ago, and it's still not livable.
Yeah, but they don't. Those are much slower. Like nuclear reactors don't usually explode.
Yeah.
They go critical and poison everything
Yeah.
in a huge vicinity.
without even knowing.
But like
They've had some explode though, I think.
we had ICBM silos north of Little Rock in the 80s.
Okay.
Like those missile silos in the ground.
Mhm.
And the same day they passed like a new ordinance at these silos that you had to use an impact wrench to do repairs. This guy goes out with a wrench, just a normal, a ratchet, I think.
Yeah.
Goes out with a ratchet, and they're doing repairs, and he drops the ratchet, scratches the side of the oxidizer, and the silo within 6 hours filled with the oxidizer, the gas, whatever it was. And so these are ICBMs
Yeah.
with nuclear payloads. So they're 2-man silos. 2 people man it. So this alarm goes off, and it's like an explosive environment alarm. They're basically like, the air in the silo can ignite. They have an alarm for that. So this guy goes down there, and they're like, hey, evacuate the silo. You know, we'll figure out what's wrong in a couple hours. And then they evacuate everybody, and they're like, actually, go turn the vent fans on. So this guy goes in and turns the vent fans on. That ignites the oxidizer, which explodes the rocket.
Oh, yeah.
And the rocket launches the warhead out the top of the silo, which flies through the air and lands in a field a couple miles away. And they have to go in the dead of night and find the nuclear warhead
And hope it didn't go off.
in a field in the 80s in Arkansas.
Well, so it ignited, but that nuclear warhead would have to be activated, right?
It would have to be armed and active, which is why it didn't go off. So it's like,
But
you
it's
could-
still radioactive in its own, right?
if it ruptured, that's uranium in a field somewhere,
Yeah.
and you can stumble across that, and then that's a kind of
Become Superman.
that's kind of a rough evening for you probably. But yeah,
What's the likelihood of that?
becoming 0.
Damn.
I also read about that today. They basically have a scale for radiation sickness. That's like, if you have a good idea.
Is that Moped Man?
Yeah, it's Moped Guy.
Nice.
Haven't heard him in a
I
while.
have not.
He must have a turbo on that.
No, it's like one of those. It's like an older looking version, but it's one of those. What are they called?
Diesel.
Fart can.
No, it's like the. What are they called?
That's
A
what that
ruckus.
exhaust is
It's
called.
not, yeah,
It's like a ruckus.
Oh, ruckus.
One of
Yeah,
those,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
he just cut off the muffler.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And but it's like also. It's also like rusty and stuff, and
He has goggles.
if I remember right.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't the guy with like the glittery gold helmet with an ice chest on the back.
Now you're getting a little too far into it. I can't remember that much.
He doesn't.
This
remember
is
last week.
Fayetteville. There's a lot of mopeds.
Yeah,
well,
there's a
so
couple of
there's
these
a
guys.
guy that like before like DoorDash and Uber Eats got big, like he started his own business delivering food from local restaurants, and he would do it on a moped. He had an ice chest strapped to his moped, and he wore a glittery gold helmet. I can't remember
That's
the
pretty
name of the
hardcore.
company, but it was pretty dope.
They have that moped shop on College. Just all mopeds.
Yeah,
Nothing else, just mopeds.
I want one.
What was it called? I can't remember.
Moped U.
Is it Moped U?
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. There's Moped U, and then there's another one that's like Razor.
We knew a guy
Moped, I
that
don't know.
wouldn't shut up about how much he wanted a moped for a long time. You know what I'm talking about. Years and years. I'll tell you later.
Maybe.
No.
No.
Oh, dude, I want a motorcycle.
No.
Definitely wasn't Chad. Yeah, the
I can't
radiation
stand 'em.
poisoning scale.
Oh yeah.
It's like out of 15, 0 to 1, it's like you'll be nauseous and you'll feel like you have a sunburn, but there's a 0 to 5% chance you die. 0% chance you die with treatment.
Okay.
1 to 5 to 10% chance you die even with treatment, and then there's a huge list of symptoms. Basically, if you're exposed to like the level 15, and again, it's a measure of how much radiation you're exposed to, you die within 2 days. And it's like
Any superpowers before you
headaches,
die.
nausea, diarrhea.
I sound
like
Almost
superpower to
immediately
me.
diarrhea.
I can work with that.
Yeah.
How much good can we do in 2 days?
I mean, your insides just start to rot, right?
A lot of them die from seizures, I get the
Sounds
impression.
like
Yeah.
It kind of turns your brain off.
Yeah.
If you live that long, depending on what kind of radiation, there was a guy in Japan.
So all of these symptoms sound like they would not affect me and Chad, because
It's-
we're
yeah.
already dead inside.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of
rotting
affect your
and-
skin too, because there were some videos of like Marshall Islands, like
Yes,
the
it
people that were
depends on the
affected out of
kind.
that. Yeah.
So if you
Well, that was hydrogen bomb or something.
yes, if you're around a nuclear reactor that goes critical,
Oh yeah.
it's not the same. You will have depending on if you were like, there's other stories that are too long to tell that on this podcast that are boring, but like this guy was trying to test to see how many of these tungsten bricks he could put around a reactor to see if it would go critical at a certain amount. It started to go critical, so he reached in and took one out, and 2 days later that hand was basically 3rd-degree burns, because that's the one he reached in to take out, and he died from that.
Oh, wow.
But it took days.
Yeah, that's scary.
But it's usually there was a guy in Japan who they put I think it was a nuclear reactor. He put too much lithium salt in the reactor or something. It goes critical, but it was gamma radiation, which is different. I don't know how. I'm not smart enough. We should have David Stout on this podcast because he's literally a nuclear engineer.
He turned into the Hulk.
Yeah. All of his skin melted off.
Yeah.
Like they kept him alive in the hospital even when he asked to be taken off life support because they wanted to see what happened. He was losing like 2 liters of fluid every hour.
That seems inhumane.
Well, post-war Japan.
Okay.
It's kind of a weird
Inhumane place.
We
You have radiation
restart.
poisoning. You're in suffering, but we want to know if we can do this
You
more
have no
often.
skin.
Yeah.
For science. For science.
For
For
science.
science.
For science.
He's like, for science.
What, was he 70? For science.
He has no skin.
Oh,
There's no
I
skin.
get- oh, okay. Duh, right?
You don't know my improv characters by heart?
That was
There was-
no skin guy.
Marty was talking about a dude.
We should restart real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about time.
Rolling.
Okay,
Rolling.
Marty.
Marty.
Mortis.
Morty.
So yeah, Marty was telling me about there was a dude who was working on power lines, and I guess what he did was he grabbed the wrong one, and it zapped him, but it wasn't until like a couple of days later. It was like still hurting, and he went to the hospital. Like just that had like cooked his whole arm.
Yeah, on the inside.
Like
That's
cooked
crazy.
meat.
That's crazy. The military, they have a microwave cannon. Did you guys ever watch that?
No.
There was a show on Discovery? Discover?
Discovery.
Whatever. Where they don't use it because it's not really practical, but they show a video of them testing it on a bunch of people. They were just like, volunteers. It's kind
I
of
volunteer
like,
to go in the microwave.
It's kind of like tear gas, where it's like
Oh.
so weird and painful that you just can't handle it, but it doesn't do any harm to you. So they park this truck like a mile away, and it has this huge freaking like dish on it pointed at these people in a field like a mile away, and they're like, okay, raise your hands when you can't take any more. And they turn it on, and everybody's like, nope. like 40 people are like,
What was did they just describe what the pain was like?
It starts to very slowly cook your the layer under your top layer of skin, because that's where all the moisture is,
Oh.
and that's what microwaves cook. They
So literally starts boiling your.
it starts boiling your skin just a little bit, just a little teeny tiny bit.
Have you seen those like they have like on destroyers? It's like basically just a laser.
Yeah,
Like they can literally just like if there's like a jet in the air or something like that, they can
Is
with
it-
this laser and just like just enough, or like an enemy ship, and they can just like it's not like in a sense where like you
like
know you
Star
shoot a
Wars.
missile and it blows it up, but it's like they can like shoot this like little laser and it'll be like and hit just an exact target, like maybe the engine, and like destroy it.
yeah.
It's probably an EMP or something.
I watched a little video on it. It was pretty entertaining.
We also
Careful.
have tungsten rod cannons
I have seen that.
that the U.S. Army has a patent for. It's a satellite that just shoots a propelled rod of tungsten, no payload, just into the ground from space, and it's like 10 nuclear bombs. It's like the power of 10 nuclear bombs.
How?
Because it reaches terminal velocity, like in the atmosphere.
Oh, so it just hits
it
the
just
ground
keeps
and
getting
immediately
faster,
implodes.
But
Yeah.
without the radiation, or what are the after effects of?
It just destroys everything. It's just a big
Well,
piece of metal that hits the ground.
Tungsten isn't radioactive, is it?
No,
that's what
it's,
that's what
No,
I'm-
it's just
yeah.
extremely strong.
Yeah, and it doesn't melt.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't melt.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
And it's extremely
So we
heavy,
can
from what I've
literally,
heard.
like,
It's pretty, yeah, it's
It's
one of the
dense
heavier
and heavy.
ones.
A town.
Yeah. It's what they used to
country.
make video lights out of, because the filament would get super hot and not melt, and so the
There's
lights
tungsten.
would be super bright.
It's heavy, yeah. I know people who have tungsten rings, and those are just insanely heavy.
Pulled a will. I pulled a will where I was like, "That's recording, right?"
Are
I
you
do that
sure
at
about
work
that?
too. I'm like, I did a two.
That's Charlie's paranoid.
I did a 2-camera shoot on Friday, and I wanted one of those like documentary style cams off to the side that has like handheld, and I kept sitting there, and I'd be like looking back at my main cam, like, is that recording? Do I see red on the bottom? Okay. You never know.
Yeah.
I've had weird stuff happen, man.
Gosh.
Dude, it's jumping out in front of me, man.
What is?
Keyboard.
Jumped right out in front of him,
It's the small things.
like that tree you hit in high school.
Me? Yeah, that did happen.
I was about to say I didn't hit a
Jumped
tree.
right out
Oh.
in front of him.
It
I
did.
saw it.
It did. It came out of nowhere.
I wasn't there.
JT was. He was like driving behind me, and he's like, "Oh, Cody's in the ditch." I mean, in the middle of the road where the tree jumped out.
Yeah, the tree fell right into the road, right in front
Well,
of
that's the same thing with JT. He hit some random pole.
him. Yeah, something fell
Yeah.
out of the trees on his car and totaled
We're just
it.
gonna rat him out right here, right now.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that one.
Something, for years he told us that.
Yeah, he still doesn't know what it is. That's on the record.
He'll tell you.
He'll tell you, but he doesn't know what it is. If anybody.
Yeah, it was
asks.
crazy that tree jumped right out in front of you right after we saw the Need for Speed movie.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's like hey, the speed limit's 25 and it's raining. You should probably go 25. Not. I'm gonna put on the record it was 60, but we don't really know.
So probably maybe 20 miles an hour faster
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah, and so that's a funny story actually. Because actually, just in general, there's a lot of funny moments about it. I was 17 years old.
Were
right?
we that old?
That old? Yeah, we were 17. Yeah,
That's crazy.
that was
feels
junior
like,
year.
Wow,
junior
that feels
year.
like so long ago. You're
Yeah,
right,
that was
though.
like spring break junior
Yesterday.
year.
He went in that like 4-second moment. He went through like all 12 steps right there. Went through denial.
Denial.
He was acceptance.
angry.
You
Well, it's
know,
like
yeah,
one of those things you're like,
bargaining.
I hit the tree and I was like, oh shit. Like, what do I do now? And so we called State Farm and we were like, hey, we had a
right
wreck.
in front of you.
Yeah, like we had a wreck. It happened. Well, actually, my mom tracked me in high school, right? For safety reasons.
Yeah, my parents did.
Regardless. So she was like, we had gone to a movie and she knew it was out. So she's like, I'm gonna track him to make sure he's safe. So she tracks me and then she puts the phone down. And as soon as she puts the phone down,
amateur hour.
as soon as she puts the phone down, it immediately rings and she hangs up and she answers the phone. She goes, "What did you hit?"
Oh no.
She knows. Like I don't know how they do it. And I was like, well, it wasn't a deer.
Horns blocked in.
Oh, that's my bad too.
blocked in.
Over
I didn't know she had to go
on my
anywhere.
desk, on my nightstand. We'll have to cut this. Is she leaving?
She's gonna go to the store.
I didn't know. I parked in the driveway. I'm a bad person.
That's fine.
I parked in the driveway and I was like, I better back out, and I backed out. Fool.
That happens.
Oh, that's fine.
So your mom was like, "What did you hit? What happened?"
Yeah, she was like, "What'd you hit?" And I was like, "Well, it wasn't a deer. It was definitely a tree. I was going too fast." She was like, "Okay." So it came out. We talked to State Farm. They were like, "Yeah, just leave the vehicle there." And we were like, "All right." And then I remembered, I was like, "Oh, there's a license plate on there on the ground. I need to make sure to go back and get it." And it was like one of my Saints plates or whatever. So I went back to get it, and there are 4 cops around it. Because keep in mind, this is next to a creek.
Yeah.
And they're like, "There's a wrecked car."
Oh, they thought somebody died.
Nobody.
They thought there was somebody in the creek, and I walk up and they're like, "Is this yours?" I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Well, why'd you leave it here?" And I was like, "State Farm just told me to leave it. Like, it's fine." And so and the cop was like, "All right, well, now we have to do an accident report." I'm like, "Okay." So I had to start this process all over again. And he's like, "What happened?" I said, "Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I watched Need for Speed. I went way too fast."
It jumped right out in front of you.
Yeah, I went way too fast. I hit the tree, and he was like, "All right." And he didn't give me a ticket, and my mom was like, "You're not gonna." My mom straight up to the cop, "You're not gonna give him a ticket?" And I'm like, "Mom, you pay the insurance on this. This is on you." And he goes, "No, your punishment's a 99 Elantra." And I didn't get a 99 Elantra, but I did total that car. I destroyed that car.
Here's the weird thing about I think it's weird that like something like that, you get in a car accident, You have to mess with insurance now. You got to get another car. You have a list of problems here.
Yeah.
And then the cops are like, oh, yeah, by the way, here you go.
Yeah. Here's a ticket.
Oh,
yeah.
Here's another thing you have to pay for
We
that
gotta
there's
make money
probably a
off this
pretty
somehow.
good chance you can't already pay for. So let's just take your situation that you're fucked in and just freaking jam it down there even further for you.
Luckily,
So
they
like,
didn't write me a ticket.
Oh, anyway, also, by the way, speaking of car wrecks and a 4Runner, Lauren's taking mine. So
That's an oof.
nice knowing you,
Nice.
girl. You were.
Is she just taking your car?
Yeah.
Oh, screw it.
Does it have issues?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
Okay, all right.
He's implying that she's a female.
No, I'm implying that she's Lauren.
I saw a
Has
video.
nothing to do with women drivers. Have I been over this? I've been over how incredible
How many
women
times
drivers
has Lauren
truly
been
are.
pulled over?
Way less than any of us.
Yeah.
I've
How many
never
times
been
has
pulled
Chad?
over.
She's never-
I've
she's
I've
never
been
gotten
pulled over.
We've been pulled over enough for the both of all of us. Okay.
I've been pulled over more with Chad than I've been pulled over by
That
myself.
makes a lot of sense.
Lauren's never gotten a ticket. So
I
Well,
can't say
that-
the same.
She's a girl. I'm just
She's
saying.
been pulled over. She just doesn't have to say anything.
she's been
Just
pulled
cry.
over.
I've told Grace this.
She's been pulled.
Just
She was
cry.
pulled over once last year. On the way home from a wedding, our blinker or taillight was out.
We were
Oh,
blacked
assholes.
I was in the passenger seat, but dude, so she didn't have a physical insurance card, and they pull. And at first, I was panicked because
They
I'm
can
like, oh,
pull it
shit,
up
I'm
now.
drunk. Well, and she's like, but you're not driving. I'm like, I know. And
Still
then-
paranoid.
and he smelled the alcohol apparently. And
"That's
he goes,
me,
he
officer."
goes, he asked her, "Have you been drinking?" She goes, "No." He goes, "Has he been drinking?" She goes, "Yeah." And so he's like, "I can smell it."
It's like I can smell the alcohol. Yeah, I got a brewery next to me.
Yeah, honestly.
And then I felt like where you see like the numbers flying around your head when you're doing like something very techie.
Yeah.
Like I was blackout drunk, but I'm like, wait, we don't have a physical copy of the insurance. So I pulled up our insurance. I took a screenshot. I airdropped it to Lauren. I'm like, there, you got it. And she's like, whoa. But probably not. But that's what I imagined.
Yeah.
That's how.
Yeah.
That's how I remember it.
That's how it
Yeah.
happened when you were like, not when I told her.
Blacked out Charlie goes to very sober Charlie.
No,
Very quick.
what happened was you did all that, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, we got it. And you lay back, and it's like reality. She just went.
He thinks that's how it happened.
Yeah, your insurance card went from your phone up to his satellite and then down to her phone.
Exactly. And it saved us.
And you were like, I did it.
Did it.
It's like Wolf of Wall Street when he's like, I made it home safe, made it home good, and he's like, nothing happened, and then he just hit every single thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That movie's hilarious.
Yeah, I've told Grace if she gets pulled over, just cry.
No,
You
yeah.
don't get a ticket.
Yeah, just cry.
Yeah, it didn't work for me.
I was gonna say, what if we cried? Like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
They'll write you 2 tickets.
I was like, okay, man card.
Write a citation for that too. I kind of have a knack getting pulled over for like not like regular things. Like I got pulled over for taillights. I've been pulled over for taillights 2 or 3 times.
Multiple times.
Just
Well,
have
he drove a
taillights.
Ranger that was totaled with tape over the taillight, and the bulb also didn't work.
Okay. You say not regular things. How many times did you get pulled over for having an expired temporary tag on your vehicle?
That's
Yeah.
not a regular thing.
That
Yes,
is
it
a
is.
very
It's a
regular thing.
perfectly regular, very avoidable problem.
Well, it's not. It's not like speeding or like cutting somebody off. I feel like that's
Not having valid license is a regular thing.
Well, I mean, regular thing isn't like something a cop pulls people over for every.
that's exactly they pull people over
think-
for every day.
More often than speeding.
Have you ever seen a
I
cop
never said
tail
more
somebody?
often than speeding.
That's
See,
what I'm saying.
No,
That's
you're
what
not.
I'm
You're saying
trying to
speed.
say.
You always spin shit to where you're right, and you're not
There's no
right
spinning.
here.
I'm always right.
God,
There was a time me and
I never
Ladies and
said.
gentlemen, we got him. I'll give you the
never
Ray.
said people get pulled over more for the expired tags than speeding. I just said that it is just as normal as getting pulled over for speeding.
He can't accept being wrong.
It's not
just-
like getting pulled over for like improper lane change. Like, who does that happen to?
I got pulled over for being in a turn lane once. I had pulled.
Okay,
So-
that's not normal.
Thank you.
okay,
That's
that's
not
not normal.
Perfect. See, Chad, he always comes up with some example because he can
To
pull
make
a
him right.
lot of
and
them
then
out of
he
his
feels
ass.
accomplished because he feels like he's right, and he's not right.
The people. No.
Chad needs to impress no one, but
Chad
he
versus
does it
the
anyway. Chad
The
versus
new
the
HBO
people.
documentary.
So
I'm not saying I killed her.
see, what had happened was I pulled out, and it was 2 lanes of traffic on each side. So I pulled out into the turn lane to
Which
get
is
ready
illegal.
to get over.
Which is
And the
illegal.
cop pulled me over for it.
Yeah, that's illegal.
That cop was just trying to be a
Wait,
dick.
go through it one more time.
So there's a turn lane.
Uh-huh.
There's 2 lanes, and there's 2 lanes.
Uh-huh.
I went from over here
Yep.
and pulled to the turn lane, and then got over.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is illegal.
No way.
Yes, it is. 100%.
You're turning into traffic. How is it illegal? It's a turn lane.
No. The turn lane is to turn out of traffic.
That's so weird.
Quote me on it. Look it up.
I'll look. I
promise
believe you. I believe you.
promise you.
What the cop said was the problem with it, though, wasn't that.
Oh.
He said what it was is he said I was riding in that lane for too long.
How many feet
to
did you
get
drive
over.
in it?
So technically, then
Maybe
it isn't
50.
illegal.
That I'll.
Maybe.
That's pretty far.
Maybe.
Well, 50
pretty far.
feet going 30
that's
miles
what,
an hour
a
is
third
not
of a
lot.
football field?
I'd give you 40 feet. I'm just saying.
There's some limit, and that dude was just out to get
There
you.
is.
Well,
a limit.
and he pulled me over, and he...
Was your tag expired at the time?
No, I was driving the Ranger. That's why I got pulled over.
Well, here's the
you're
thing,
right.
though. If,
Never
like,
mind.
If you,
we figured it out.
well, here's the thing, though. If
Sorry, maybe should I have stated that before?
yeah, well, if a
Just
cop
like,
is
I was in the Ranger.
That's why.
if a cop is following you and you do something stupid, and then he looks at your tag and realizes it's expired, he's gonna have more reason to pull you over.
Yeah, you're
but
getting
like
more
if you have like a tag that was just renewed and you do something stupid like that, he's probably not gonna pull you over. But like I noticed one time, like I'm going like 55 and a 45, and I like blow past a cop, and he just whatever. Like he's watching Netflix, like it matters.
Yeah.
Like he's not there. He's making sure no one's flying. He doesn't care if you're going a little bit over.
Here, I just go how fast the person in front of me is going. You'll never get pulled over.
Yeah, well, I prefer
Like, just
to be the
pace
fast person
whoever's
in
in
front.
front of you. It's just like,
Yeah.
if they're 400 feet out, just don't gain on them, and you're fine.
Yeah. And it all depends. And if you're going 90 miles an hour on the highway and a cop tries to come pull you over, just keep going.
They
Just
won't.
Just accelerate. They're not going to
Was it
pursue
gonna be a
you
4-star
in Arkansas.
GTA chase?
Yeah, no
Yeah.
one's going to follow you. Just keep going. And
Yeah.
if you're like if you're like crossing through traffic, like swerving around, they're going to catch you. But if you're going 90 miles an hour in the far left lane, he's
Yeah.
not going to pull you over.
So maybe you can speak into this a little bit since you're the car expert. You're full-time car guy.
Yes.
What is it about guys that drive white pickup trucks that have to drive like complete
It's
douchebags?
just pickup truck. I drove a white pickup truck.
They have to.
Yeah, no, it's just
But you
in general.
don't
And they
now.
always
You
drive a
don't now.
Dodge.
You're reformed.
They always drive a Dodge.
Uh-huh.
But what is it about like the Dodge? Be like, he's on my ass and I can't see through his windshield.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a
just-
Dodge or a 9-foot lifted Silverado.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the Silverados.
Yes.
But like, here's the thing.
But
If
black
I
Silverados.
And it's never a Ford because they're always pushing it up.
And-
well, it's because they don't care. Because
your mouth.
because here's the
Shut your
thing.
mouth.
If they
They
hit
can't
you,
go that fast.
they don't care because if they hit you, the amount of damage
hits
to
the
your car
tires.
is going to be so much worse.
Yeah, especially in
than
my
their
car.
own.
They just run me over.
Yeah, they don't care.
Just go
at
over
that
the
point.
top.
Also, what is it about? It seems to be on the white ones, especially like a white truck.
Well,
or
they're
something.
late to
They'll
go
be
and
lit-
beat their wife, probably.
Yeah,
Like,
that's exactly what I think.
Yeah.
Dudes in white trucks, they always have the wraparound Oakleys,
oh yeah,
some tap out shorts.
bald as heck. Yes.
and they're wearing those.
No,
dude
they're not going
shoes.
home to beat their wives. They're not cops. Anyways,
Google cop and 35% and see what comes up.
anyways, something about people who have those like really tall lifted trucks, they have to have like like teal rims or like
never seen
red
that.
rims. Are you serious?
It was
You've
in
never seen that?
high school. It was super popular, but it's like it's in Carolina. It's super popular. They have the Carolina lean or whatever they call it. It's like you lift up the front of your truck, but you leave the back
Yeah,
stock,
yeah, yeah.
and you're like
So
you
you're looking
can't
at the sky.
you can't fucking see anything.
Yeah.
and it's
You don't
like
have
there's,
to.
There's so many incidents of them rear-ending people because you can't see the car in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, how is
Well,
it
that's
not
like-
illegal?
I've seen so many elderly Hispanic women here who don't know they can raise their seat up. That
Oh, yeah,
that are
so-
like they're
yeah.
looking through the gap on the steering wheel
Yeah.
like this. I want to like at the stop I want to get out and like pump the seat up.
One thing that I see all the time that irritates me is, so I'm guessing we all kind of sit back and drive with the arm out.
Yeah.
That's the douchebag thing. That's just the guy thing. That's how guys drive.
I'll own
and
that.
you're going to lean back a little bit, but you're not leaning up on the steering wheel.
No.
Right? There's so many, it's normally older white women or Asian women they're driving and literally the steering wheel is 4 inches from their chest. And I'm like, if the airbag goes off, your entire body is destroyed.
You have broken ribs.
So I literally
Grace
tell people,
drives
I'm
really
like,
close too.
yeah, I'm like, you need to understand that if somebody,
does too.
because not only are you going to fly forward, the airbag's going to push you back, and your back will snap.
Yeah.
And I have to
brat.
tell people that, and yeah, exactly. I have to tell people that, and they're like, well, what if I like driving close to the steering wheel? I'm like, okay, but if you die,
Okay, I
it's
hope you
on
like dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
What is it with dudes? And I feel like us three would probably be this way. I don't know about Will.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
like something about
That's
dudes and like you're riding and then another guy is coming up and he's going like 1 mile per hour faster.
Oh,
and
you
you're like,
have to speed up.
son of a bitch. You gotta go a little bit quicker.
sure.
Like you're like,
Oh, yeah.
like that's
I only do that on the highway because that means I'm going too slow.
Dude, I had
that's
somebody
an act of aggression.
on the way to Oklahoma yesterday.
You want to
I
fight?
got over. I was speeding. I was going a good 10 over to get past a semi truck. This dude came up behind me.
Oh, they're still
okay?
flying.
And then I get just get in front of the semi truck. The dude behind me starts flashing his lights like frantically at
I
me.
stopped on the
I'm like,
highway one time
Are
because
you
the guy was doing that.
kidding me?
And they're always in a white Dodge
It was a
pickup truck.
white Dodge. It was for real. It
Yeah.
was. I was like,
I
you
came-
can't wait 30 seconds for me to get over.
The
I came
vape
to a
store will be
complete
open.
stop on
You'll
the
be
highway.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that happened to me at Wagon Wheel. I was passing a semi on the 3 lanes. This guy comes up on me, only 3 miles an hour more than I'm going, but he's tailgating me. I just stop on the highway, come to a complete stop. It was on the way back from here one night. Nobody else is there. I'm just stopped in the far left lane on the highway.
With him behind you.
Yeah, and he goes around me, flips me off. I'm like, all right. I
but,
mean,
but we all know
get
who
to go home.
But we all know. Yeah, right.
we all know who really won though.
The guy who got to stop on the highway, yeah. No, the semi that passed both of them.
It's like a bunch of
He's the
losers.
winner.
He's like, what are these guys doing?
What the hell's going on?
You know what the worst thing in the world is when you have, a semi here, sometimes a semi here, but sometimes it's just another vehicle, and then you have a vehicle here all going the same speed.
Yeah.
These
Or
two
the
people,
semi.
death penalty.
Yeah.
Death penalty.
I can't tell you the amount of times driving to Arkansas Tech in Russellville, driving down there and hitting I-40 from Alma to Russellville, and the amount of times a semi would go to pass another one, go
Yep.
2 miles an hour faster,
Yes.
and then the one on the right decides to go just a little bit
Probably,
faster, and I'm like,
restart.
Okay.
they keep just kind of fighting each other, and I'm like, move, because
It's
they're
because
both
they-
going 60.
They have
like,
limiters, but
Yeah.
they don't know what the other person's limiter is, and so they're always like, mine's the faster one.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's not. Just stay in the right
If
lane.
you drive a semi, don't pass other semis.
Yeah.
Just deal with it.
Yeah.
You're not going to get there any faster.
Well, they used to have a speed limit for trucks that was 65. Like,
Yes.
you couldn't go any faster than that.
Most of the trucks can't go that fast.
And I'm
anyway.
pretty sure semis aren't allowed in the third lane.
Have you seen the Holy Trinity of 3 semis all
Yeah,
going
which-
the same speed? I definitely have.
I haven't.
Yeah,
I've
which
only
I'm pretty
seen
sure they're
2.
not allowed to do.
It's the Holy
But
Trinity, okay?
that's the
No,
whole
if
point.
you're
I
in
know-
the left
I know
lane
in-
and you're not passing, you can get a ticket.
All
Yeah.
3 of those guys got on the radio and was like, you guys want to see something funny?
Oklahoma, like Arkansas, it's a law. They won't pull you over for it, but in Oklahoma, they will impede. Like, it's impeding the left lane. They will
They
pull
should
you
do
over
that
if
here.
you're just riding the left lane. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with that? Like, no one's coming up behind me. But I'm guessing
As
if
long as people aren't passing you on the right, what's the harm?
yeah,
Yeah.
But I'm guessing if there's an emergency vehicle, they stay in the left lane.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm guessing that's why.
Let's cut it.
Anyways.
The band's breaking up.
Have we all listened to the new Architects album?
Yes.
It's all right. Well, I guess we'll have to talk about that when everyone's listened to it.
You can
Yeah.
talk. I don't care.
But
No.
All right, so there's multiple videos out there. Be like every blech that Architects has ever done.
Yeah.
There's 0 on this new album.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and everyone's like, well, somebody responded. They were like, this new album's too soft for Architects. And Sam Carter, the lead vocalist, was like, it's too soft for you. And I'm like, okay, you've sold like heavy music for a long time. and you go to a softer side of the music where you're singing more of the time, you're gonna have backlash.
He's not a great singer either.
No, he just kind of strains his voice, which I liked because he would strain it and then he would go into more of a harsh vocal, but he doesn't really do that anymore. But there's some of those songs that are really good, but they're becoming much more simplified. Like Architects had like eight string baritone guitars that they would like riff on, and all of this is just like chords. Like, they're not really doing any more riffs anymore, and I'm like, you just sound like...
It's more emotional.
Okay, Papa Roach was old a long time ago. Why is every metal band becoming Papa Roach?
Yeah.
Like, Memphis Mayfire went downhill so quickly because he had Jacoby Shaddix or whatever went on one song, and it just went downhill from there.
Yeah.
I think...
Yeah, so fuck Papa Roach. Thank you for ruining music.
I'm not sure if this is true, but I bet it could be argued that they probably make more money. like because their music's on the radio more often now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like
for sure. Sellouts.
But that's why I like
that's
August
weird.
Burns Red. Like August Burns Red
doing
has
the
done the
thing.
same thing constantly, like changing a little bit, but they're
Boring
changing.
as fuck.
Yeah, their music's boring.
So
It's becoming boring,
I can't
but
listen to it.
But they don't care because they're not changing their sound to become more popular. They're just doing what they're doing because they have
should.
diehard
But
fans that are sticking with
see,
it. But
and
they
that
should
you're,
change something.
You're assuming that Architects is changing their sound to become more popular. I disagree with that.
Unless
I
they sound like
completely
Bring Me the
disagree with that.
Horizon, they're not trying to become popular. I haven't listened to the album.
Yeah.
I think they are.
it's
they are?
I could see
I think
being
they are.
compared
So there you go.
sort of to Bring Me the Horizon, but
Bring Me the Horizon's huge though.
That EP is sick.
The one with the really
Post-human
long.
survival horror.
Oh, see, I can't listen to it because it's just. I
You don't
can't
like
do.
it at all?
I don't like spacey music, so you have to
The
get
new
past all
one.
that.
No, the new one.
I
Not
haven't
the
Like the
spacey
one that came
one.
out a couple months ago.
Not the
Oh,
spacey one.
I can't remember it to be
with
honest.
Kingslayer with Baby Metal on it.
Oh yeah, that one's
Baby
that
Metal
was decent. I need to
slaps.
listen to that more.
That album is sick.
Oh, I love it.
Teardrops is sick.
Isn't
One by
huge
One
Linkin
is
Park
sick.
feel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like that's what we need. We just need Linkin Park back.
Yeah.
But there's actually like
That's
Architects isn't
exactly
known
what
for
we need.
like. Oh, we do need Linkin Park back. We
Yeah.
definitely do.
Rip Jess.
Yeah,
man, now we're all
prog metal or
fucking
whatever it was called.
depressed.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need a lot of bands to release albums. Like, where's the Contortionist when you need them?
Man, I don't know if my brain
It's
can
very
take that
clear
right
that me and
now.
Cody have completely different opinions about some of this music that he's been ranting about.
You know, like Contortionist.
I don't know who Contortionist is, but
They're
I'm
like
talking about Architects
progressive
and,
metal.
and
What?
Memphis Mayfire.
That's
Oh,
the,
see,
that's
I
the
Do you
thing.
like the new
That's
Memphis Mayfire albums?
Not as much
His
as
favorite
some
band
of
is
the
The
others.
Wedding.
I haven't listened to any of the Wedding.
Yeah.
it,
'cause it's-
I could
'Cause
see
it's
the
what? Because it's what,
I don't-
Cody?
I don't
'Cause
like-
it's what?
It's generic. I'm sorry. I don't
it's
like.
not.
I think it's
Punk.
generic. Oh, see, I'm not a punk guy, except for like
It
the
is
hard
not generic
punk.
at all.
I think it's generic. That's my personal opinion, though.
You guys
See,
like
that's
But
Josh
I don't
Groban?
I don't like drop D songs, and that's
Josh
what a
Groban?
lot of these people.
That-
Okay,
You
Josh
raised me
Groban
up?
is amazing.
That's the great thing about this podcast, though. We can have different opinions. Although I know Charlie
That's why we put
took
you
that as
both
a
over
very
there.
personal attack, and he's gonna murder you later off
he's
camera. But
He's already dead to me.
Let's start at something we all love. My favorite band, Oh Sleeper.
Okay,
yeah.
we
You
all
You thought
do
I was
love
going
Us
to say
Sleeper.
Creed.
Wilson Creed.
I love Creed.
When dreaming, I'm guided to another world.
Scott Stapp.
Time and time again.
I really like
Way
those
too
songs.
long on that two-syllable word.
Brody, shut up!
Will you?
He was like, "Don't sing." Brody was like, "Stop."
Will you please start a Creed cover band?
I would love that.
Does
I genuinely want this to happen.
does everyone else miss Let Live? Because I miss Let Live.
Let Live.
Yeah, I couldn't get into their music.
was
Oh,
good.
I loved
You're
it.
back.
It was
Dude, lyrically, that dude was insane. 27 Club, the lyrics to that are just very well written. They're very, like, they're making a statement for sure that most people probably won't agree with, but it's just very well written and very well thought out. And I like listening to that sometimes, but there's some music, like, if you listen to Periphery, those lyrics make no sense.
Yeah.
Like, they're talking about one where it sounds like they're in, like, Skyrim. Like, that's exactly what he's singing
Yeah.
about. And literally, their last album was called Hail Stan. They don't give a fuck anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
Periphery?
periphery.
Yeah.
There's some bands like that I really
But that
like
album
the
is
music.
slaps. But
I can't get into the band because the lyrics just literally don't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
I can't think of one. I have to look at my list right now.
but some of them
Less
are pretty
than
decent.
1% juice. Anyway,
Important. Drink truly.
Let Live. I like.
like Muse.
But that means
Oh.
there
Like
is-
I like Muse, but none of their songs make any sense at all.
Well, some of them do. Like, it's all that anti-government stuff.
Well, like they're either so obvious, like Madness is just so obvious, anti-government stuff, or it's like Supremacy. What is that song about?
It was about anti-government and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but it just kind of gets lost.
The big boss is bad. Okay.
But same with like System of a Down. That I mean, it ends up having a meaning to it. But some of the lyrics he threw into that song are like, what does that pertain to anything? Like, why do they always send the poor? Like that. He's talking about.
BYOB makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Chop Suey makes no sense.
Well,
Aerials, no sense.
No sense.
We're on the wrong.
AFI. That's who I was thinking of.
Okay, see, I haven't listened to that.
You don't know Leaving Song Part 2?
I know who they are, but I can't think of
Oh.
what the song is.
I think we're on the wrong end of the spectrum. What does any of rap music mean?
That's fair.
Yeah,
I
I
could
could trap metal that came out.
We need to get started.
No. Yeah, people don't listen to that for the lyrics. You listen to that for the beat.
I
The
was
people
about
who
to
make
say-
the most money are the people that make the beats.
I can't tell you what Sicko Mode's about. Still slaps.
Sicko
Yeah.
mode.
Like Stir Fry. That song means nothing, but the beat is good to listen to.
Yeah.
But
I like stir fry.
Bobby Shmurda.
It's good with
Hot
chicken.
Shmurda.
But then you've got like you have all these rappers that talking about all this,
gentlemen.
and then you have Logic that comes in and he's like, "Here's the number for suicide awareness. We're gonna talk about that."
That's
like
just so
it's very cringy.
cringe.
Like praise to you for
Yeah.
raising awareness, but like it doesn't fit to the rest of your album because the same song on that album is "Ass Money Pussy Money Weed" or whatever the song is.
Ass,
Like
titty, pussy,
ass
money,
titties
weed.
pussy money weed. Yeah, so
Everywhere
clip
I
that,
look,
but.
spree.
It's on the same album as the suicide awareness thing. Like, you've got to pick a mix, buddy.
I do like his song with Eminem.
How do they
though.
contradict each other?
I mean, if I had that, I wouldn't commit suicide.
Wait, which one?
All of them.
Any of them?
Suicide Award.
Suicide awareness.
His song with Eminem, where they put Crystalia in the music video. That song's pretty good.
So I saw someone else say this, and I've been thinking about it a lot because Architect's new album, and a lot of people are trashing it big time. And somebody said a lot of these people who are trashing this music have never been in a band and had to write
That's fair.
an album and
Well,
record and
you-
release an album
Most
because they're
people
bound to a
haven't.
contract.
But you could see it in yeah, that happened A Day to Remember too. Like they
Yeah.
just went downhill because they were locked in. And same with 30 Seconds to Mars ended up suing the company for like $60 million because
Yeah,
they
that's a
got
bad
locked.
contract.
It was bad,
30
yeah.
Seconds to Mars. They had to
I
tour.
saw that. I saw that documentary. That was crazy.
Yeah.
They had to tour to
Well, they
not
got-
lose money.
Yeah.
They owed the label money if they didn't tour.
Yeah, and then
that's
they
like the
That's
opposite.
how most bands are. Most record labels are.
But it was
Yeah.
like tens of thousands.
Oh,
It was like millions.
probably
Yeah.
millions.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I think they ended up getting sued for $60 million or something like that.
But didn't they settle on them making like 5 more albums or something?
Yeah,
It was
Probably.
something. But then all the members left. It's only Jared Leto and his brother.
Well, it was only ever
And
them.
Shannon.
They had tour players. but
Oh, okay.
They were the only ones ever in the band.
Yeah, but like so they
Yeah, they were
didn't even
probably
have
the only
touring
ones on the
people because
label.
they came to the amp and they had a guitarist and that was about it. And he only played like 2 of the songs. The rest of it was just them and everything else was tracked.
When I saw them with Muse, I think they had just a guitar player. But Jared plays a guitar too, almost the whole time.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't in ours, but he's a
Oh,
weird.
really?
He's a weird guy.
He's awesome. He's
Have you?
amazing.
Oh, do you have HBO Max?
No.
Will's a movie guy, but
What movie?
it's The Little Things.
The one that just came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that.
You should watch that. I'll give
you
you.
seen him
I'll
in
give you my
Panic
login.
Room?
I need
haven't.
Cody's
I need to,
HBO
though.
Max login.
Yeah, I
you
need.
guys-
Yeah.
You need to watch
Hey,
The Little Things because
give me
like
your
the
login
ending
info
will
right
leave you
now.
mad,
Yeah,
but
right now.
Yeah, what's
not
your
right
password?
now. No.
You should watch Panic Room,
But also
because
for
it's like
Mortal
Jared
Kombat.
Leto before he was famous,
Oh yeah.
like really big. He was in stuff, but he got really big after Panic Room,
Yeah.
and he's just like this total douchebag villain in the movie.
Yeah.
Just like a dirtbag criminal.
Yeah.
White trash, And it's just really funny to see this guy who sings so beautifully just be such like a weird
shitty person.
criminal guy.
Yeah, well, then you should watch The Little Things because he plays this really creepy guy.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah, if I
Well,
talk
he's the
anymore, it's going to
Joker
spoil
now,
it.
so-
Well, so apparently he's a method actor too.
Yeah,
and
he
they interviewed Margot
Just like
Robbie.
Heath Ledger, huh?
Well, that everyone who plays a Joker ends up going nuts. Like you can't tell me
Joaquin
Jack
Phoenix.
Nicholson is sane, but listen
He
to the
was
dude.
crazy before it.
Listen to the dude talk. But like, I mean, you've got Jared Leto. They interviewed Margot Robbie, who is Harley Quinn or whatever,
Yeah.
and she said it was impossible to work with him because he acted like the Joker in real life. Like
Yeah.
could not take anything seriously, and it's like you end up becoming more the person.
Yeah, Jared
So-
Leto Jared Leto didn't know the pandemic started because he was out on a vision quest in the desert
Yeah,
for like a month.
Nice.
He's
And he
whack.
came back and everybody
Everybody's
was wearing
wearing
masks. And he was like, I don't know what happened.
yeah.
And he literally made an Instagram post that's like, I'm so sorry, I'm just now posting about this. I was meditating in the desert.
Yeah, here I am. He was nominated for a Golden Globe for that Little Things movie, but he plays that whack criminal that's just really hard to connect with.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a really good actor for a second. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay, I was
I
about to
love
bring up
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Nightcrawler because that
Dude,
movie is.
'cause he acts like a
very-
weirdo in
Well,
that movie.
He reminds me of that because like he kind of Jared Leto acts like the Nightcrawler
Like that.
dude in Little Things, just very
Just a total
unaware.
psychopath.
Yeah, just very unaware of what he's doing.
I don't remember if we talked about this, but like,
Jake Gyllenhaal's your dad.
I feel like, yes. I feel like I might have said this last time, but he almost comes across as like autistic in that movie.
Yeah, I
Which-
think that they did it on purpose.
I always feel like he did on purpose, but I'm like, what do you Google? Is Jake Gyllenhaal pretending to be autistic in Nightcrawler? Like, I feel like there's not an article about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm not meaning that in a bad way. It definitely tracks if you know people who have autism.
Well, that movie is so good because it only plays like. I mean, you're talking like a 6-month span. Like, it does not talk about his backstory at all.
No.
But they build the character so well because
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal's a good actor.
Have you seen Zodiac?
I haven't.
I like
I've
that
seen
movie.
bits and pieces, but not all the way
That's
through.
That's
you
a
gotta sit
good
down
movie.
and
I
watch
like that
that.
one.
Well, it's got an
because-
all-star cast too. It's just
Yeah.
got everybody.
Yeah. The ending is one of the best, but
Yeah, it's
he's
pretty good.
he's also kind of autistic in that movie too. Like
Maybe he's autistic, guys.
he's not. He doesn't. He's
not.
nothing. Oh, you gotta see Prisoners with Hugh Jackman. It's on Hulu.
Okay.
Sorry, Jake Gyllenhaal, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman's daughter gets kidnapped, and he knows for a fact that this guy
I remember hearing
who
about
has he's like mentally deficient. He knows that this kid knows what happened, but he can't get it out of him.
that. Yeah.
So he kidnaps him and like does everything he can do to convince the kid to like tell him where his daughter is. And Jake Gyllenhaal's the cop at the head of the case. It has the best ending of like any movie I've ever seen.
All right.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Okay.
But the ending is you're like and then credits roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those movies.
I like
But-
those kinds of movies.
So now
Yeah.
we're talking about endings to movie. The worst ending to a movie, and we're gonna spoil it. The worst ending to a movie I've ever seen, Uncut Gems, with
haven't
Adam
saw it. I
Sandler.
haven't seen
All
it
right,
yet.
no one wanted
Started
to.
it, didn't finish.
No,
Too long.
yeah, exactly. Well, I watched it in theaters. I was like, you know what? Adam Sandler's a funny guy. He's got his goofy ass movies or
now he
whatever.
wants
But,
to go outside.
Yeah. I'll go let him outside.
Okay.
I haven't seen
Sorry.
the movie.
but he's got like that movie gives you so much anxiety just because he keeps making bad decisions, and then I don't know if I want to spoil. Y'all don't care. He just
I'll probably never watch it.
in the last 2 minutes he gets shot. Like he finally puts like $1 million bet on this thing after trying the whole time to not do this, and ends up finally doing it. And then he gets locked in. He locks these two sharks in a room because he owes somebody else money. And as soon as they let him out, he ends up winning a ton of money from it, and they fucking kill him in the last 2 minutes. And that's the end of the movie. Like you watch this dude struggle the entire time, and it's terrible.
Well, that's
but
why-
Adam
That's why I won
Sandler's a
so
good.
many awards because he dies at the end.
Well, Adam Sandler did a really good job in this movie, and I'll give him credit. It's just so hard to watch, though.
Yeah.
The entire movie is just impossible to watch, and I saw it in theaters.
I'm not
I suffered.
I'm not a big Adam Sandler movie fan.
It's not.
There's
It's
a-
really not.
Not a big
Sandler.
Adam Sandler movie.
It's like that movie. It's not Adam Sandler. Like if you watch Grown Ups and then that movie, it's just a totally different person. But Grown Ups is hard to
I
watch.
can't stand Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
I
Well,
would
his-
watch that movie though.
You
I
don't
think
like
he's the
The
same
Longest
person
Yard?
in every movie.
Oh, that's the point. Same with Liam Neeson. He's the same person in
Literally
every
the
movie.
same. Yeah, he's just.
There's a lot of
He-
actors.
he's
that
the
are like
exact
that, though.
same.
Hey, did you know there's like 40 pictures of Liam Neeson with pee pants? He pees his pants a lot.
Interesting.
If you're watching, look up Liam Neeson piss pants, and you'll find a lot of pictures.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
I think it's because he's drunk in public a lot,
Yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
is Irish.
and
He's something.
has a very tragic story.
I did not know that.
Well,
His
that.
wife died in like
Did he
a
get
horrible,
taken?
Yeah, she died in like a ski accident. Yeah, pretty sad.
well, and he didn't start making all these movies that are really similar until after that. And so I was
Yeah.
talking with somebody who was making a point that maybe he's just gone a little bit crazy like after that incident, and that's why he does all these kind of.
just doing his job. I think he's just like, yeah, I'll go to work today. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's funny,
'cause,
like
I mean, you look at all the like I've seen a handful of his movies in the last couple of years, and it's like there's the one on the train.
Yeah.
There's Taken. There's Taken 2. There's the one.
just taking 3.
Out in the wild
Oh.
with the wolves.
Didn't see that one.
Yeah, but it's taken in the woods.
Out in the wild with the wolves.
Isn't it the
plane
Gray Wolves or
crashes.
something?
That's not called the Gray Wolves.
Why do I think
it,
that's
it is.
Gray. It's
The Gray.
Gray.
Thank
The
you.
Gray.
Thank
The
you.
Gray.
Yeah,
that
you were looking at me like
that
I'm an
movie-
idiot.
That movie was
Gray
not good
Wolves.
either. The Gray was not a good movie.
Really? It's only been 15 minutes.
17. Sorry.
No. I mean, we can cut them. Just cut it.
Yeah, it's like I already did it.
Cut it.
Price is way too high. You need to cut it.
This will be our last one.
Taken is good. Taken's a good movie.
Yeah.
Taken 2 and 3, dookie film. Poo-poo film.
Well, it's hard to make a sequel decent. I can't think of any that
Star Wars done it.
Name,
Okay.
name a bad sequel. Go.
Taken 2. The Conjurings. I mean, I like-
Conjuring 2 is good. I watched it the other night.
I can't do scary movies anymore.
Star Wars.
there was
Episode
one that
8.
ruined it for me, and I can't remember.
I watched.
I
Rogue
see.
Road.
I liked the new. Well, okay, Rogue One was
Yes.
a good movie.
Freaking amazing.
Yeah.
And it had
I
like
saw it 3
no
times
real
in theaters.
play in the story.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Arguably, no real play in the story.
Arguably.
No. I'm talking about in the entire
Not drunk.
in the entire Star Wars idea. Rogue One really plays no part in building.
It's how they get the plans.
That's how they
to
get the
Death Star.
plans. That is.
You didn't see the movie. Didn't see the
I
movie.
never saw the movie.
I saw
Did
Rogue One. I
did
saw
I
it in
do?
IMAX, but I don't care about any
No,
of the other ones.
one of those.
That is the whole reason
I need to-
for the Star Wars
Okay.
is Rogue One.
Well, we should just cut that so I don't look
I didn't
like
even
an
see
idiot.
it.
Okay.
I'll do my best.
But it was a war movie.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't say anything. Don't tell them.
It was a war movie. Right?
Where are the stars?
The stars are going out.
I'm going out.
Worst movie sequel of all time.
Worst?
Okay.
Under Siege 2.
22 Jump Street is good. Ted 2 is funny.
What's that movie?
Under Siege 2.
See, I don't know what that is.
What's that movie in the White House and
White House Down.
All of them?
White House Down.
And then Olympus.
Olympus has fallen. Whatever that sequel is.
London Has Fallen or something.
That has to be the worst movie sequel of all time, and
They're
I
all
haven't
bad.
seen it.
And that's with Gerard Butler, right?
It's
No,
the
well,
worst movie sequel.
Channing
of all time.
Tatum was in one of them.
White House Down.
White House Down. He was
Okay.
in.
And then they used Gerard Butler for the last one.
No, Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down are not the same movie.
They're not.
They are about the same thing.
Olympus Has Fallen is Gerard Butler.
I think it's funny though. So when Obama got elected, right, first black president, and then Hollywood was like, "Fuck yeah, we can cast so many people."
We can put Jamie Foxx as the president.
yeah.
White House Down.
Kevin Hart.
Like we haven't been able to do that since until now.
Why has Morgan Freeman not been the president yet?
That's
And
real.
he's been the president like 6 times.
I mean, he's been God, but not
he
president.
has been God.
a lot.
I don't
Most
know
of the
about a
time.
lot.
In
That's the
2
movie
movies,
Steve
both
Carell,
with
right?
the word Almighty in them.
Bruce
Evan-
Almighty.
yeah, and Evan Almighty.
That is Evan
Bruce
Almighty
Almighty.
is the sequel.
No, they're not.
Yes, it is.
They're
Evan
2
Almighty's the
totally
sequel.
different
They're
movies.
2 completely different movies.
Evan Almighty is a
It's the same
spin-off
movie.
of Bruce Almighty.
Yes.
Is it?
They're
Yes.
made by the same. You thought those were unrelated movies?
They don't have any connection within the movie?
Yes.
One
they're
guy is Noah,
biblical.
one guy is God. It's supposed to be like the same. It's not the sequel. It's a continuation of the same idea.
Say psych right now.
With a different actor.
Say psych right now. Yeah. Well, either way, I'm still right here. He's in 2 movies with the word Almighty in it as God.
They're the same.
Because they're the same
universe,
thing.
made by the same studio and the same producer.
You think I know the studio who made these movies?
You didn't. You
Just-
thought they were
just
completely unrelated.
Exactly. What makes you think I know the studio?
They both have Almighty, and they're biblical.
He had no idea they were biblical.
Bruce Almighty.
God's in him.
And then Almighty becomes Noah.
I haven't seen Bruce Almighty, so
You haven't seen the
What are
first
we doing
one?
here?
They're the same.
apparently not.
They're the same movie.
The first one is hilarious.
Bruce
It's,
Almighty's
it's-
good.
Oh, it's so good.
I love
so much better than Evan Almighty.
My favorite part is when he's getting all the emails.
oh yeah,
because people keep praying.
My favorite one is with his wife, where she's in the bathroom.
Okay, cut.
What?
Cut.
Lost.
See?
All right, but
I'm surprised.
in more current events, I think I'm pretty sure Charlie is up to date on WandaVision.
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
Actually, I heard something today that makes me want to go rewatch it. Oh.
Well, apparently it's like Phase 4 of Marvel.
Yeah.
WandaVision's opening it. Like I watched the first 2 episodes, I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Oh, yeah, no.
And then you end up watching, you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's tying into
you're caught
literally
up?
everything." Yeah, because
Okay.
there's a new one coming.
So
Friday.
I was told to go back and watch them all with the subtitles on.
Yeah, because apparently you hear her thoughts.
Yeah.
That they somehow have rigged the subtitles to where whatever Wanda's thinking, they put it in the
Oh,
subtitle.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Because
Which
it's
is-
like a TV show, but they're on a TV show on the TV show.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're trying to decide did
I can't go
Wanda
into
create
any more
it?
than that,
So
really.
I
Yeah.
already know what the show is about. This is the thing that has always pissed me off about the Marvel movies, because it is an entire culture. This is so elitist and gatekeeping, by the way.
Sorry.
That's okay. I've known about like this whole Scarlet Witch story, like
Okay.
for 15 years. Because like everything Marvel's been doing,
Well, it's Magneto's daughter, isn't it?
no, has been. I mean, maybe they make her that in the show.
I think the beginning of the comics leads it to be Magneto's daughter and ends up not being Magneto's daughter. But
So House of M is the series that they're kind of basing this off of.
Because that's what happened. Is probably it just went to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, Scarlet Witch, Vision dies at the end of the Avengers comic series that they rebooted in like 2005, I think. Vision dies in that.
yeah.
Scarlet Witch has a mental breakdown. That happened in 2005. Like, comic fans have known this plotline for 15 years. And she has a mental breakdown and completely changes reality.
Yeah.
So that Magneto is the ruler of the world. This is so
okay.
nerdy, and that
you're
starts
giving
House
shit away
of M.
now, aren't you?
I don't think that's what they're gonna do because Marvel doesn't own the X-Men anymore.
But they brought in Quicksilver.
They only did that because he was in the Avengers movies. Fox owns the X-Men.
They brought in the character, but they even talked about it in one of the episodes. They said, "Why did he get recast?"
Yeah.
And it was
Because
just
they
it
don't
was just
own him. They don't own him
it
anymore.
was just a huge crossover.
Yeah.
I think it's so weird when people.
Magneto hasn't been in the Marvel universe yet, outside of Fox.
I know that. I
Yeah.
know that.
But he might be.
Sorry.
I think it's kind of
But-
weird when people are like, don't give me the spoiler or anything. It's like, I could get ready to go see a movie. You could tell me the spoiler. I'm still gonna watch it. I'm
That's
still going to
because-
enjoy it.
You're not a chimpanzee, and a lot of people are.
a chimpanzee.
But they tied in. So Pietro is Wanda's brother.
Yes.
But Quicksilver, who I guess are the same character.
Chad hates this.
Okay, Quicksilver
No,
is
not this.
Quicksilver is Magneto's son, who
know-
plays
yeah, I know what you're
Pietro in
referring
I don't
WandaVision
watch
was
X-Men, though.
Quicksilver
I
in
don't
the
either. I don't
newest
watch
X-Men
X-Men either.
movies.
I don't know about
Idiots.
any of that, but yeah.
Yeah,
X-Men
but
is
that's why it was a
arguably,
huge
like,
cameo
super
because of that,
boring.
and
I
so
like it.
that's
That's
why
what I've
they're
been told.
thinking Magneto may come through because Quicksilver is Magneto, or Magneto
If-
is Quicksilver's dad.
So if they bring Magneto in, and it's the same guy that he is in all the Fox movies,
Good luck.
I'm gonna watch all of the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
When they bring the X-Men in, because I've been a lifelong fan of the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Like literally since
How?
2005.
When did you become an X-Men fanatic?
I'm not. I've just. It's
just
all
watched the
over
Marvel
TikTok.
movies. Because
It's
everybody's
all
seen
over
Marvel
TikTok.
movies.
There it is. There's his news source, everybody.
I've got nothing
It's
but
all over
Warzone
TikTok.
videos on my TikTok.
Yeah, I got tired of that because
Yeah, I like one Ford Ranger video. That's all I get, baby.
Yeah.
That's all I get all day, and I love it. I love every minute of it.
Stuff.
Oh, I got a great one. I'll show you guys later. About turning 31.
Yeah, TikTok is like it's honestly a cancer. that just keeps growing.
I'll show you guys what I get.
It's a good cancer, though.
It's
the
it's
best kind.
really
It's
hard
like,
to not watch.
It's like getting cancer from smoking. Like, you hate yourself for it, but you just love
Well, it's like
Oh,
you
right?
think that there's so much. Like, you'll go through one TikTok video, it's like super liberal and like super like you should accept everyone, and then the next one is like super dark humor, and like this is the difference I needed.
And this is what the podcast.
It will be so much funnier if you read the comments.
Yeah.
The comments are freaking hilarious.
Yeah. Everyone on that one was just like, great video, man. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just like, yeah. And then I was like, these comments don't pass the vibe check, and I'm like, no, they're funny.
They're pretty funny.
They do.
You take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this.
Hey, Bubba.
I don't know. Maybe I just never really got on the TikTok thing. I mean, I watch like the reels on Instagram, but
Which are
yeah.
all TikToks that
You
have been
send me a lot of
recycled.
those,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and that's what
Yeah,
I.
you send them to
it's-
me, and I'm like, I've already seen
Well,
them.
and it's like
Exactly.
I filter through Instagram for all of you, but
You send me Aaron
Instagram
Scully
is
stuff on
filtered.
TikTok all the time.
fucking god of
Curator.
everything funny that we should see.
well, I'm glad I didn't have to say it. But
You do send me some funny
Okay,
stuff
if
sometimes.
media didn't exist, Chad would not be funny.
I completely agree with that.
I disagree.
100%.
I disagree with that.
All of his humor is reference humor.
All of his humor is reference humor.
If we were cavemen, Chad
He would not be funny.
No. Chad would be like, no, you'd be like this. You'd be like, remember when Thag hit rock? and we'd be like,
It's all situational.
that would be Chad
Yeah.
if we were
Okay.
cavemen.
I feel like I'm the person. We're having normal conversation, and I just take whatever this thing is, and any way possible, I jam something that has nothing to do with this into this.
When
And we're
he's
talking about
and he
uncomfortable.
something
thinks
else
it's
now.
funny.
Well, when he's uncomfortable, he just kind of throws something random in there, and you're like, that worked.
Yeah. Remember when
somehow it
T-Rex
ties.
ate Brutus? And we're like,
No, if we were caveman times, I would have been the one that got like trampled by a dinosaur or whatever, because I was like, yo, how close could I get to this thing before it does something?
I wonder if you can
Poke
get
it with a
on that
stick.
thing. I want to get on that thing.
Poke
Or
it
I
with
would
a
get
stick.
on it and ride it for about 9 seconds and be like, oh, this is awesome.
I'd be like, that was 8 seconds.
Yeah,
Ring the bell.
yeah, this is cool. Oh, man, he getting stomped on.
Yeah.
He
There's a
did.
stegosaurus that flips you onto its back.
Have you seen the video? Have you seen the video of the woman who's like on the horse and the horse just like,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
ooh.
It's totally choke slams her. Ooh. Yeah. I saw a fight video today on Reddit where this 16-year-old fights like some 36-year-old in the street, and he's like, the 30-year-old guy's like, he's like, bro, I'll give you the first hit. So the 16-year-old punches him right in the jaw and then hops on his back and starts choking him out. And then the guy who's getting choked out, he like keeps slamming this kid back into the concrete, like on his head on the asphalt, and then tries to tap the choke.
He tries to tap
And
in
then
a street fight.
Everybody in the comments is like, I feel like neither person here is really good. I was like, the guy trying to tap the choke after slamming a kid into concrete is the bad guy.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
if you hit somebody's head on asphalt, you don't get to tap a choke. You go night-night.
Yeah.
Things go gray and you go sleepy.
I was introduced to a dream by somebody, and it is now also my dream.
Okay.
And that dream is to be the filmer of a street fight. I want to be the person filming these people street fight.
Oh, yeah.
Like, pull out my phone, and I'm the one. I'm the guy.
You know what the first thing I would do is? You gotta get it all. You gotta get it all.
For all of you amateurs, it's called landscape.
Okay.
And then it's like bonus points if one of them takes off their shirt, because you know that guy's gonna lose.
I had
Yeah.
a tier list for public freakouts and fights of a rating list. Like, you get an automatic 10 out of 10 points if someone gets hit by a car. That was my tier list. Because there's a fight video that happened in St. Louis where it's outside of a church and a car drives through like 8 people. And I was like, that's the best one. That's an 80 out of 10. Because 8 people get hit by a car. That and shirts off was like 3 points. Yeah.
You gotta respect the shirt off, but you know that guy's gonna lose.
So, you know the new Justice League movie that
Nope.
Zack Snyder is remaking the Justice League movie because it was so bad.
Okay.
Justice League came out like 4 years ago, and it was so bad, they brought Zack Snyder back in to remake it.
Okay.
Is that the equivalent of like they were releasing the Sonic movie and everybody shit on it so much that they had to go back through
Yes,
and
but-
redo Sonic?
But after it came out.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but the movie's in 4:3. He made the movie in 4:3.
I don't know what that means.
So in 1920 by 1080p is 16:9. That's
Okay.
the ratio. 4:3 is 4 wide, 3 up.
So
That's
potato.
it. No, it's not. That's not the resolution. That's the ratio. It's going to be 4K, but the ratio's basically a square. And he was like, I did it like this because superheroes are tall and not wide. I literally read it, and I'm dumbing down what he said, but he's like, superheroes usually have vertical action and not horizontal action. And I was kind of like, oh, just make the movie normal.
Yeah, you're not cool. But like, there was another thing. Everyone was like, yeah, well,
might as well just shot it like this.
Yeah,
So
we're
he
gonna-
shot it in
tall.
IMAX, but it's premiering on HBO Max. I was like, oh, crop it.
yeah.
Make it widescreen, you know?
Crop it.
Well, they made Wonder Woman, and they were proud. They were like, oh, we're gonna have a woman produce this and direct it, and it was terrible.
Did you see it?
Wonder Woman 84
Yeah.
was terrible.
So I saw the first one, and
Kristen
but
Wiig
you can't say
she's
that.
a
that
terrible
is-
actor.
from Saturday Night Live cannot play a villain.
She's terrible.
She
in
like turns
Ghostbusters.
into like a fucking cat. Like what the
Yeah.
what? Like it makes
Oh, that
no
checks
sense
out.
to me.
I saw the first one, and everybody was saying it was like such a great feminist movie, and I'll be honest, I kind of was prepared to roll my eyes.
It
When I
wasn't
watched the movie.
bad.
The first movie itself wasn't bad, but toting around Wonder Woman, that character that as they've written her as some sort of feminist icon, is bizarre to me.
Yeah.
She could not be stupider in that movie.
Yeah.
And she falls for literally the first guy she ever meets.
Yeah,
But Gal Gadot though.
yeah,
She's pretty.
but
She falls for the first guy she ever
yeah,
meets in her life.
whoever wrote that did not know what they were doing.
It was a woman.
Yeah, it's just woman empowerment. Like
You can't say these things saying this stuff is the equivalent of saying the last election was rigged. Okay, you can't say these
We'll get
things.
kicked off of YouTube.
I don't know.
But Cody, you
YouTube's not paying
You-
attention to us.
No,
you
there's worse
mentioned.
things out there.
So what did you say that the movie was in? The
4:3?
4:3. You said I don't know what that means. What you should have said was explain to me what you think that means.
Oh yeah, that's what everybody at my job does. They're just like, yeah, I think we should do it this way. I'm like, well, we've done blah 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 in the past, and it just doesn't blah blah blah. And they're like, and why is that? Like they know, but I don't. Like,
What's something weird that people at your job do that you'll never understand? You will never understand.
I
This
sat
would go
down-
on for 6 hours
yeah,
for me.
I have one right off the top, and it's short, and then Cody has to go.
Oh God.
I had to sit down in a video editing meeting with a worship leader one time and go over video edits with a guy who plays guitar for his job. I went to school for 4 years to do this job.
What did he insist on this?
That was a requirement for me for this project.
Did he critique you?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I had to go over fades and transitions with him. Video transitions.
Did he ask for any of the swirly ones?
No, like and like a wind chime, like.
Like, did he ask for the ones that it's like a PowerPoint where like all the blocks move?
I like that one.
I like that one.
I like that. I use that in the kids.
You could do
ones. I
you could do
use the cube
sideways
spin,
that way.
yeah.
where it
Oh, yeah.
folds over and the new one comes in.
Yeah.
But I put a whoosh under it.
The kids like that.
That's my thumbprint on the
Yeah.
kids'
Yeah, the
videos.
whoosh.
It goes to the next one. They
That's your
love that.
thumbprint.
They go crazy for that one.
Yeah.
All right, Cody has to because he
Cody.
works at
I
the
can't-
car dealership.
I gotta think of some.
All right, I got one off my tablet. If you need
Okay.
to. All right,
Just
so
The
I'm not
only
gonna
thing
be able to
more
think of it.
insane than a restaurant is a car dealership.
Oh yeah.
So you have to have something.
there's these people that come in every Sunday, and the kids. There's like a couple of kids, like 2 or 3. They always look like they just got out of like maybe a baseball game or something of some sort. So I guess there's a little league game or something they all went to. Anyway, this dude and his son are the first ones to get there, And no matter what, doesn't matter if the other 4 people are 2 minutes behind them or 20 minutes behind him. For some reason, he always insists on sitting at the bar when they know they're going to move to a table. And it's like with COVID, we have to clean the spot he sat at, like, thoroughly and whatnot. And it's like one of those things, it's like not a big deal, but it's like, why not just start where you're going to go? Like, it just doesn't, it's never made sense to me.
Does he just want to be seen at the bar? Like, does he just want all the
I'm the
kids to
cool
see him at
dad
the
that's
bar?
going to drink with the child.
That's got to be what it is.
I don't know.
painful.
Fun fact, though, I've driven his car before because he used to get it serviced at the Everett.
Oh.
And he's driving the same one still. It's like a Suburban. It's got like a rack with the certain tires and stuff. And I know it's him. And one of these times, if he ever makes me mad, I'd be like, yeah, well, guess what? I drove your car.
I drove your car.
I farted in your seat. I've been there. So I work at a car dealership, right? Well, we're the stealership to everyone. We charge more because
Dealership.
well, yeah, that's what people call it, because we charge more money because we're trained by the people who made the car.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay a little bit more to come see us, and if you don't want to pay for it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Take it somewhere.
Go to some rando.
But I can't tell you how often people have an issue. They're like, well, I took it to Firestone, and then I took it to AutoZone, and then I took it to this like Grandma and Grandpa shop. And I'm like, your car needs a battery. Like, that's it. And they're like, I keep having this issue with my key fob. I'm like, Nissan made it. Bring it to me.
It has
It's
a
going to
battery.
cost more money, but we're going to fix it right the first time.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you the amount of people that, like, so Nissan transmissions are CVTs, right? There's no
I
gears.
will never get a CVT transmission.
They're continuously variable, regardless. That they have issues because they overheated. I know the symptoms. When someone describes to me what it's doing, they're like, yeah, I go on the highway and I'm at 60 and I give it a little bit more acceleration and it kind of vibrates on me a little bit. And I'm like, okay. And so as a professional, I'm supposed to say, okay, how often does it do it? And I have to know. But as soon as they told me what the issue was, I know it needs a transmission.
Yeah.
And then I'll say that and be like, well, and then they don't want to pay me to diagnose it. They just want to know a quick answer. And I'm like, if I'm going to be honest with you, it probably needs a transmission. They're like, are you sure?
Positive.
You just
do this for a living.
You just asked me, am I sure of what I just told you? Yeah. I'm 100% positive. And
Actually, I made it up.
well, people argue. I'm like, I've worked here for 3 years. I've trained. I've written up 20 cars a day for the past 1,000 days, and you're gonna question if I'm sure that what I just said is true.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it needs a transmission. Are you sure? No, it could just be tires.
But I've had people argue with me. So 32 psi. If your tire pressure is whatever, your tire pressure should be at 32 psi unless you drive a big diesel, big truck, whatever. I aired up a dude's tires at 35 psi because it was 30 degrees outside.
Yes.
It's going to be 15 the next morning. You know, your tires are going to go down a little bit. I set it to 35. He goes, no, set it back to 32. When you set it to 35, it overinflates it and it wears out my tires, and that's you trying to sell me tires. And I said, okay.
It's
I'm not out to get you.
in here a week earlier than you would have.
That is the most petty
3
thing
PSI more.
for someone to say. Be like, you're definitely out to get me. Be like, no, I'm not. I'm not out to get you. But I could bitch about this job for a
should
long
just be
time.
Like, you'll be here tomorrow, and then deflate them right there in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Okay, so slander time. Are you ready?
Oh, God.
What is the auto repair place that people should not go?
Total Automotive.
Okay, is that just here?
That's in Lowell.
Okay, so what is like a national chain that people shouldn't go to?
Any quick change, oil change. Valvoline, Quick Lube, Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube has had. Oh no.
I go to
Why
Firestone
not?
and they've never screwed me yet, but I heard you say Firestone and I was like,
Firestone has charges out the ass
They
for
do.
things, but because it's Firestone and not a dealership, they make the money.
yeah.
Which makes no sense to me. And Firestone tires are shit. Okay, so let's say you can flip burgers at McDonald's and think you deserve $15 all day long, but they will hire some random kid off the street to change oil on a vehicle.
Yeah.
This vehicle could cost $15,000. This vehicle could cost $80,000. You're
Yeah.
putting the same guy, paying him $11 an hour to loosen a bolt.
Yep.
That dude is not going to do it right. That dude doesn't know what the car is, doesn't know how it works, doesn't know how much oil to put in it, and I cannot tell you how many times people are like, I need this covered under warranty because it's leaking. And I'm like, oh, well, you took it to Take 5, and they didn't tighten your oil filter, or they didn't put a washer behind your bolt
my
thing.
gosh.
I'm like, they didn't do it right, therefore it's leaking. And I had one of my main things, and it was like a dude from high school that we knew, and his dad destroyed me on the phone, like was just rude to me because an air filter is supposed to face a certain way because it catches it one way.
Yep.
But Take 5 took his air filter out. The car had 4,000 miles on it. Your air filter's not dirty.
No.
He took the air filter out and put it back in the wrong way. So, given it was only 4,000 miles, the air filter had dirt on it. When you put it the other way, it then sucks all the dirt off of it and throws it into the intake. So it messed up a sensor in there, and the car would not run. Because when it messes with that sensor, that's your first thing. It's a mass airflow sensor. What that sensor does is it tells the car computer, hey, I'm taking in this much air, throw this much spark, throw this much fuel. And that's how it's going to run. Well, if it's not reading right, or if it's clogged up, it just throws the whole thing. And the problem is, these cars are so rigged to not malfunction, it just literally won't do anything. So I go and look at the car, and the whole thing's like not put together right. It just doesn't look right because he took it to Take 5 to get the oil change done. And I said, oh, they turned your filter the wrong way. It sucked in the dirt and messed up your mass airflow sensor. It's $400. And he goes, is that covered under warranty? I said, no. And he goes, how do you know? I said, I have pictures of your car when you brought it to me that the air filter was in backwards. And he ripped me a new one on the phone. He's like, well, that's a stupid design. And I'm like, I didn't design the car.
Yeah. I also didn't put the air filter in
Yeah, I'm not
backwards.
stupid, and I put the air filter in right.
Yeah. No, I'll get right on the phone with the CEO of Nissan.
Yeah.
People, he'll hear about this. Don't you worry about that.
People bitch at me. They're like, well, why is it doing that? I mean, like, I don't know. And I'm like, my ex-girlfriend, and we all knew who I'm talking about. She drives a Versanote. She has a new boyfriend who's like 6 years older than her, and he's kind of a douchebag. Regardless, she brings in her car, and I always hook her up on an oil change because I don't have any beef with her. I'm trying to be nice. She brings her car to me. I hook her up on an oil change, do what I need to do. Her lower oil pan is leaking. There's a seal around there. It happens over time. So I told her, I said, hey, it's starting to leak. It's not dripping, but it's something you need to be aware of. If you have drips in your driveway, we probably need to fix it. And her boyfriend goes, well, why does it do that? And I said, it's a seal. It just goes out over time. He goes, well, that doesn't make any sense. And then he walks away.
That makes perfect sense.
I'm like, it's a seal. It goes out over time. What do you want me to say? Why does it do that? I don't know. I don't have the answer for that.
I didn't make rubber. I didn't invent rubber.
It never gets old, and it happens every day.
Oh man,
You sound so happy.
Yeah, I am.
We better wrap this. It's getting like Cody Wheeler, plug your Instagram.
Oh,
Plug your LinkedIn.
At that Wheeler kid.
Going into rapid mode.
Oh, okay, yeah. We got time.
Rapid mode.
2 minutes.
Are there lizard people running the government?
Absolutely.
Did Bush do 9/11?
Oh yeah.
Did
UFOs?
Dick Cheney do 9/11?
No. Bush didn't do it. Dick Cheney definitely did.
Dick Cheney made money. Dick Cheney made
definitely
money off.
Oh, for sure.
Off.
The Iraq War.
Yes.
Of course he did.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Did they invade the wrong country? Absolutely. Did Dick Cheney make money? Absolutely.
Okay.
Aliens.
Maybe.
UFOs.
For sure.
Jews run the
Secretary.
banks.
I don't know. I don't think they run the banks. I think the lizard people run the banks.
That might be real. We just gave two completely different answers.
Sasquatch.
Is Mark Zuckerberg a lizard?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen him in
Or
interviews?
the first sentient AI.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah.
It could be either one, maybe both.
Maybe both.
They made the movie about him with Jesse Eisenberg. No,
Just
that
to
dude's
throw us
definitely an AI.
His chest will open up. It'd be that little lizard dude, like from Men in Black.
Yeah.
It's both.
He's
what does
definitely
he say in that movie? He's like, beyond the Milky Way. Something like
Orion's belt. Something about Orion's belt.
Orion's belt. That's it.
You know I got it all the time.
Sasquatch.
Oh yeah.
The Rake.
Don't know what that is.
Okay.
Slenderman.
Slenderman? Nah.
What else did we talk?
Mermaids.
Sure.
Mothman?
Did we land on the moon? No.
Aliens, space, or ocean?
Ocean.
Ocean. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Aliens from caves.
No.
No. Mothman.
Sure.
Okay.
So you're gonna believe the Mothman prophecies, but not the
I haven't read the Mothman properties.
properties. He has properties.
properties.
Yeah, you can rent them all across the U.S.
He owns multiple apartment complexes.
Oh yes, I am.
TM.
Titanic.
Oh,
Did it sink?
Sink or not?
It was definitely rigged.
Okay. Rigged to sink.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Rigged to sink.
We'll go into detail.
They
later,
definitely faked it for the insurance money.
but
Titanic.
Was it the Titanic that sank, though?
No.
Okay.
Titanic. Do people actually care about it?
No.
No.
Who killed who in what room with what weapon?
OJ definitely did it. He literally.
That was the answer he was
a wrap.
looking for,
That's a
though.
wrap. That's a wrap.
That's it.
That's a
This
wrap.
has been the Guys Afternoon In.